It shows you, the quality of these boys.
He just gets better every week, and how he's not in an England squad,
It's got to be one day, surely.
He is what I've seen in the Premier League, the best 1v1 defender in the league.
Right now, I've got a big craving for giant spicy Watsons. Yeah.
Welcome to the pre-match pint with London Pride. 4 games to go. What a season it's been so far. We hit that 40-point mark at the weekend, but we're still not finished there. I've popped out for a little lunchtime pint with my friends Natalie Sawyer, Marcus Gale and Reese Weston.
Hello, hello.
Thank you all for joining me. We're
Greetings.
here, as always, at the brewery, shop and tap room and fillers down in Chiswick Lane. Bees fans, get yourself down here for 10% off, and also if you use the code pre-match pint online, you also get 10% off there. Toasts. I love a toast. First toast to Robert Taylor, whose birthday it is this week, my first ever footballing hero. Happy birthday, Robert.
Happy birthday, Robert.
Well done, Robert.
Second, of course, it's the day after the B team got that brilliant win last night in the Cup. Also want to talk about that because the game went to penalties. Some people may have seen the decision in the last minute where Nathan Young-Coombs didn't quite get the decision that I think everyone inside that stadium saw should have been a penalty. But Reece, to go to another penalty shootout, having lost the last final penalty shootout, these are young players. How big is that going into that?
Yeah, there'll be a hangover, I'm sure, from the previous shootout against Barnet. But it's great for the young team, isn't it, to get a cup win? Difficult environment. Some of the lads have been in around the first team as well, so to stay motivated to go and get a result. It's a long night for him, wasn't it? But brilliant to show character to come through another shootout.
Well, cheers. We had Neil, of course, on here recently, so well done, Neil, well done, Sam, and all the team there.
Cheers, lads.
Right. Let's go to Spurs then. Before we start on Spurs, did you guys see the brilliant photo? Christian Eriksen's doing his lap of honour, lap of appreciation, and he's clapping. He's got a bag of hula hoops in his hands. Now, we think this is from Woody, who you may have seen the week before, through the mini eggs to Thomas to say Happy Easter. We think this week he's given Christian a bag of hula hoops. Obviously,
oh, he's so giving, Woody.
He is. But obviously, we should say everyone don't just start throwing food onto the pitch at full time. But did you ever get any food thrown towards you?
Just abuse, mate.
Just words.
Nothing tangible. No, far more damaging than words.
You had chomp bars, didn't you?
Yeah, I had chomp bars in my early days here, which were quite tasty as a guy.
So what would you want someone to throw to you, not at you? Just don't throw food at football players.
Right now, I've got a big craving for giant spicy Watsons. Yeah.
Very specific.
Oh, very.
Natalie, what would you go for?
I mean, I don't mind a pick and mix of some variety, but if
You've got to be
really,
careful with them. It could be quite hard if they hit you.
yeah, but that's why they're going to pass it to me. They're not going to throw it at me. But really, if I really have to nail my colours to the mast, it's got to be a Whopper with onion rings.
Wow.
It's got to be. Love it. Love it.
Just the box of 6 for me. Box of 6 nuggets. A little bit of ketchup on the side.
Right.
Happy. Yeah, but separate throws though.
Yeah.
Because I can't catch two things at the same time.
Sure.
I'm going to go perfect bar snack, scampi fries.
Scampi fries.
Anyway, that's all the hot topics. In 5 minutes in, we've not spoken about any football, but we all know what our bar snacks and post-match meal would be. So come on, let's go into that game. Natalie, it seemed like I came out of the game thinking, how have we not won that?
Yeah.
It was, and against a quality Spurs side who we completely outplayed on the day.
Absolutely, and also it wasn't even our first choice 11.
Yeah.
How good were all those players that came in and made their mark in the team? Yeah, you're absolutely right. How we didn't win it, I don't know, other than the fact we didn't score any goals. But it was a terrific performance, and we're worthy of all the plaudits that we've received. I've spoken to a lot of Spurs fans since, and they're all actually very giving in the adulation for what Brentford achieved in that game, and barring not winning it. And they were all the same. They're like, how did you not win it? Because you were fantastic. They were poor, but we made them poor because we didn't give them space, and that was key.
And that's what we've spoken about a lot this year, isn't it? People going, oh, look, Spurs dropped points, they weren't great, but we were really, really good. And I think another thing, like you touched on there, the players coming in, and we saw the team straight away, and obviously naturally going, oh, no Christian, no Christopher Ayer and stuff. And I thought it was a back 4 when I saw the lineup. I thought it was going to be Mads, Pontus, Mads and Rico. Saman comes in at right wing back, and Reece, the position where you've obviously played down that side and defensively at right back. I thought he was phenomenal on Saturday. What did you make of his performance?
Do you know what? I've got such an affinity for Saman. He just seems like the nicest lad, And he did. He came in. His game time's been limited this season, and he always gives everything when he plays. And He was popping up at left wing back, joining in with the play, decent recovery runs. I think, considering the team we put out on paper, you know, there are a couple of eyebrows raised, no doubt about it. But I thought, all the guys that came in did incredibly well, and Saman epitomised that. And you know, it's great for us to see that when key players are missing, it's not a case of, crikey, what we're going to do about it. We've got players that can come in, much like Zanka did in the previous game against West Ham. You know, players are coming in and they're actually making an impact rather than just filling a gap, and it's great to see.
And Marcus, how hard is that? Because Saman, when he has come in, we've seen him at left wing, we've seen him in centre midfield, we now see him at right wing back, we've seen him at left wing back before. How hard is that as a player to be coming in and kind of filling in all these different positions?
Takes a lot of courage as well. Shows the adaptability of the players that it's needed now. You can't just be, not like a one-trick pony, but you can't just play the one position and expect to have a long career. You have to be adaptable, and it shows you the sort of character of the players as well. You know, even Mads Rodslev playing right side centre back. Now, that boy, when he first came in, he was like a right winger, going past people. Now he's filling in at right back. Now he's filling in at right centre half. It shows you, the quality of these boys is that they want to learn, they want to adapt, and I think that's one of the key ingredients of being a top flight footballer.
And you mentioned Mads Rodslev. I thought Mads Beck seems to get better every week, doesn't he, Natalie? He looked so calm on the ball as well at the weekend.
There were lots of key players that weren't involved, and you just thought, how are these players going to step up against a Tottenham side that we know on their day can be incredible to play against? And they all came in, and as Marcus said, they just got on with it, and it was as though they've always played in those positions, actually. So I think full credit to Thomas, full credit to the team, just being able to just go out there and put in a strong performance. And it just goes to show again what that unity must be like in the team, because being given that opportunity, they've all taken it, and they're all, as we're now talking about them glowingly, it's brilliant.
It seems to be something that's kind of in the fibre of the club at the moment. In the last few years, whenever we've seen someone missing, the person that's come in has just stepped up so much. Even when you look at, like we said before, Norgard last year and Vitali coming in, like we see it every time that someone maybe takes a bit of time out. And then the question is like, well, what do you do now? Because how do you take that person out? And Mads has got every right to go, no, look, this is my position now. I'm showing you why I'm there, Reece. It is a dilemma that when these people come back, what do you do?
Exactly, and I think it's testament to the culture. What Brian and Thomas and the coaching staff have built at Jersey Road is that you want that aspirational environment that players feel like they've got an opportunity, and when they're given an opportunity, it's fair and just. But the tough thing for Mads Beck is that he's replaced Ethan, who's arguably been candidate for Player of the Year this year. So tough decisions. I'm glad I'm not making them, if I'm honest with you. But it's a great conundrum to face yourself with, isn't it? Going into such an important game on Monday night. Knowing that you've got a selection headache for all the right reasons, and I think it's been great to see the emergence of some of these young players this season. Untried and untested at this level, and they've all put down a really big marker for themselves personally and across the team as well.
They've had to show some patience as well as a youngster, and sometimes it's not always easy for them to have that sort of patience to bide their time, to see people coming in and out of the team. But it also shows that again their character of, when they're called upon, they're very reliable.
Well, let's look forward then to Manchester United. Also, by the way, I would like to give a big shout out Matthias Jensen. I thought, by the way, he was absolutely phenomenal. We didn't even really touch on him there. And look, we could probably do a whole 20 odd minutes on Rico Henry on his own, because he just gets better every week, and how he's not in an England squad, I don't know.
It's got to be one day, surely.
Exactly. Well, let's get to United. It's weird. Me and Jamie were talking about before that this fixture, when we were growing up, was the one that you always wanted in the cup. It was just that like Manchester United at Old Trafford, and I know it's come. I'm not saying it's any less exciting or anything, but due to the nature, of course, where they are at the time, they were like the best football team in the world, let alone the biggest club in the world. How do you feel going into this, Natalie? I'm so excited about it still. I think.
Quite clearly, no pun intended, but really a pun. You're buzzing for it, aren't you? Because it's Man United at Old Trafford. You're absolutely right. Growing up, they were the team that everyone looked at as these giants on the football stage. There are generations of Brentford fans who have never gone to Old Trafford to watch Brentford, play Man United. So it's a massive fixture, and it would have been one of the first fixtures that we'd have looked at to see when do we go to Old Trafford, when do you go to Anfield, places like that. As a Brentford fan, to know that we're going there in a league game I mean, it's incredible, and wow, it's so exciting. And yet, the form at the moment perhaps isn't as obviously as great, and not where they would want to be, which gives us a little bit more optimism going into it, perhaps. But this is still Manchester United. They, on their day, they can still deliver, as they did at our place. So in the end, even though how we weren't ahead in the first half, who knows? So yeah, there's still that allure of Old Trafford, the history of it, everything that club has achieved in their time. That it is one of those standout fixtures for us.
Marcus, I was lucky enough to go to the friendly, and as soon as I walked in, I was like, right, I get what they mean about this place. Yeah. It was one of those where you're like, wow, the grandeur of it. You've played there. What's it like walking out that tunnel? Again, it's even like an iconic tunnel. Do you know what I mean? Just coming out from the corner there.
It's very daunting. As Natalie said, it's the theatre of dreams. It's the one fixture, or one of the one fixtures you want to look forward to going to. But it can be daunting.
Did that make you raise it? Did that make you raise your game? Because you were like, I'm at Old Trafford. This is the biggest stage. It was, especially in the 90s, wasn't it?
It would force you to raise it. But back then, when I was playing against them, it didn't matter if you could raise it or not. They were that good. Right. You didn't really get too much out of them. I think it's known as the theatre of dreams. It still is, but I just think it's just lost its little stardust about it at the moment. When you see teams like Norwich going over there and getting 2 goals, you just think we have a chance as well, because we're a very good side. We're in great form, and we have to go there in a positive fashion to get something out of it, and I believe we can.
I saw Lindelof say this week that he feels the biggest problem that they've had this year is consistency. To me, that it just seems like there's just a lot going on at that football club at the moment. And how hard is that playing when you've got so much going on as a backdrop? New managers coming in, a lot of talk about managers. It seems every day there's another new signing, or there's another new coach coming in. There's departures, apparently, people saying, rumours this week, Pogba's left a WhatsApp group and stuff like that. It just seems there's always a story with Man United at the moment. Is it hard to block that kind of stuff out in a changing room?
Yeah, maybe if you're a subject of some of the speculation, but it's a perfect excuse as well. Consistency is very generic, right? And you can blame inconsistency for a lot of things. And Man United have got it fundamentally wrong at the top since Sir Alex Ferguson left. That's the reality of it. But it would be remiss not to suggest that they are still a very formidable side. And yes, they've had an inconsistent season, but when you're talking about Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, these kind of players, they're top players, and on their day, as you say, Marcus, they can turn it on. So, it's a great opportunity for us in great form to go to Old Trafford. If we come out of there unscathed, what an achievement that will be, and it just to be a crowning glory to what's been a fantastic season already. But it's going to be tough. I think it'll be tough, and again, Ragnick will be looking for a reaction. They've been very poor, and the performances have been poor as well, which is the most concerning thing for them, I think. So they'll be looking at our game on Monday night as a massive opportunity to try and stop the rot, I would say.
It's worth mentioning now, we're filming this before they play Thursday night. Of course, we've happened to film this on Wednesday. You mentioned him there, arguably one of the greatest players ever. Some people say he is the greatest player ever, Ronaldo. As a defender, how'd you mark him?
I'm passing on.
What'd you do?
He's your man.
Yeah, we're looking for Potters of Ethan.
But do you think if you're Rico, you going, I can't wait for this, another chance to go?
Rico for me, and I am going to be biased. I don't care. He is what I've seen in the Premier League, the best 1v1 defender in the league. I think, and for him, there's so much similarity with him and Ashley Cole. It's very difficult not to draw those comparisons. Ashley was the one person that really stuck it to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo really struggled, never got any change out of him. And I think Rico will be looking at this opportunity again to strengthen his claims for an England call-up. Steve Holland was at the game on Saturday against Tottenham. Of course, he may have been watching the England captain. It's a possibility. I'd like to think he was looking at Rico, because at the end of the day, playing in a newly promoted side and playing as well as he has done, this is another great opportunity to show the world what he's capable of.
So we go there on Monday night. We've played 2 systems recently, Natalie, 3-5-2 on Saturday, but we've also played 4-3-3. What would you like to see us line up with on Monday?
I'm thinking, when I think of Manchester United's defence, and you look at their recent results, they've been leaking goals. So, clearly we need to think about our attacking, maybe front 3, to really get at them. They are get-atable, I think. You know, you mentioned it there. Norwich scored 2 against them, and you wouldn't expect Norwich to do that at Old Trafford. They've conceded 4 against Liverpool, wasn't it? And then they've conceded 3 against Arsenal. And so they're very shaky at the moment. So I think for me, obviously, you know, they have got attacking threat. Let's not dismiss that. But there's just something about maybe a 3 for me going forward that could be quite important for us on the night. Just because I just think they're a bit shaky at the back.
There's also the context of the season, though, right? So I think it's a fair assumption to make that if we don't get beaten on Monday night, we're home and hosed, right? And that's there's also that element in my mind going, yeah, it'd be great to stick it to Man United, you know, get on the front foot and be really aggressive, but also avoidance of defeat is equally as important. So it's a tough one, isn't it? It really is. It's a terrible question, Stu.
I like how Natalie started to pick the team from the front.
Yeah.
Because that's rare.
But
Not for you, but you know.
I know, but that's how I'm
It's a
thinking.
good way of looking at it
That's
as well.
how I think of it.
They've also
just
beat
with them.
Spurs 4-1 not too long ago.
Yeah, true.
Well,
see what I mean?
exactly. They're a very hit and miss team. So indifferent. You don't know what Man United team you're going to get. And like I say, you go back to the game at Brentford. First half, we were all over them. And I know, obviously, Thomas Frank said afterwards we destroyed them. We certainly did in the first half. But when you look at the scoreline, they certainly were the better. You know, they got the advantage and they won that game comfortably in terms of the scoreline. So, of course, they're a team that can still rip you apart. Absolutely.
You've got to be respectful. It's still, you know, you're still going to Old Trafford. It's still Man United. They still have.
They've got high quality.
Of course
and
they do.
that showed in the home game with
So, you
Marseille,
know, I
anyway.
think it's.
But that's what we do well, don't it? We've got that humility and we've got the respect, but just quiet confidence. We're not, even us 4 sitting here, we're not sitting here going, oh,
We're going to hammer them.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
No, we're not.
It's that kind of, it's Manchester United at the end of the day. It's like, it's illustrious, and you've got one of the best players that's ever played football. You've got the England captain. They're still, it's going to be, I can't wait. Bank holiday Monday, it's going to longer train journey.
Yeah, Natalie saw a prediction, didn't we? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
little hunch before Chelsea, didn't you? Little hunch before Chelsea.
I had a little hunch for Chelsea.
Yeah.
What do I think about this one? I think we. Oh, I don't know actually.
Whatever you
I
say,
haven't,
I'll
got,
go
I
with
haven't
it.
got as strong a hunch as I had for Chelsea. I don't know why. I just feel this like because they're so hit and miss, Manchester United, that they could come out and be on fire and not say blitz us, but they could just, you know, put in a real strong performance, which is what they need. Equally, they could be the same Man United that we've seen that have been really disappointing against Liverpool and Arsenal, etc. The Arsenal performance actually wasn't that bad. It was much better than their Liverpool defeat. When you look at the scoreline, you think they were atrocious, but they weren't. They had their chances, they just didn't take them. So I'm going to say a draw.
What
I think
happens
we
if
get
we
a draw.
what if we score early? What do you think happens? Is that?
Limbs everywhere.
But is it a place that goes? Do you see Watford? I felt like the atmosphere dropped as soon as we scored. There, do you think it will just go? They'll just get behind. It's a tricky one because you don't know, because to them losing 1-0 at home to Brentford,
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
That'll test the mettle of a lot of players, you know, and you know, it's not a nice place to be when you can sense the anxiety in the stadium, and you know, if we get ahead early, then it changes the whole dynamic of the game, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility either. I think I can't wait for it. It's going to be such an amazing test of football, I think, and. I think I'll sit on the fence with Natalie and say George probably can.
Marcus, you might have just sit on the fence as well. Or what you got?
I'm going to predict, again, our fans are going to be the loudest in there.
Very
Okay.
well, yeah.
They've been like that.
They've been brilliant.
Kind of sitting on the fence still about the actual game, but
I can see us staying
You'll know
unbeaten.
that. That's a given, Marcus.
We're staying unbeaten. I
Right.
can feel that.
Okay, that's good.
thanks. Well, look, if any of you actually have a thought about what might actually happen in the match, stick it down below. But we kind of
Tell you
we
what can
think
happen
something
after
will
the
happen.
match.
We just don't really know
There'll be
what will
fans
happen.
there.
Yeah,
They'll
there'll be
cheer.
fans there. They'll get
Yeah,
behind
right.
one of the teams, and no matter what, we'll have a good day out anyway. So yeah, let us know what you think will happen, because we don't have a clue, in the comments below. And promise see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.